Hello and welcome back to another edition of our Boston coding interview questions, solving algorithm questions, the kind of coding interview questions that you get when you want to apply for a developer's job, and that those are what we are looking at. So today we're going to be looking at uh, int reversal, integer reversal, how you can reverse an integer. So the problem says, given an integer, return an integer that is the reverse ordering of numbers. Example, if the function is if you create a function known as reverse int and you give it 15, it will give you 51 as the answer. If you give it 981, it will give you 189. You see, just reversing the ordering of the numbers. But if you give it something like 500, it's gonna just give you 5 instead of 005. And if you give it minus 15, it's gonna give you minus 51 instead of 51 minus. And if you give it minus 90, it's gonna just give you minus 9. So it's very, very important. You need to take note of this minus as you're solving. Now, in the previous class, we looked at string reversal. So we can use that technique to solve this problem, the technique of string reversal. Only that we need to convert our integer to string. Then we'll convert it to array, just the way we did for string. Then when we do the reverse, because the reverse function is a function for arrays, so after doing the reversal, we can convert it back to string and then convert back to number using parseInt. So using parseInt, and that's what we're going to try to do. And this is the test. It's always good you know about the text, and we're using jest. Now const reverse int, which is the name of the function, require index. Index is where we wrote the function. I opened it already. This is where it is. So this is basically how you write jest test. Then you now say test, in brackets you put the first spec that you want. Reverse int function exists. If you run this test, this is always going to give us, this one is going to pass always, because already you are given this scaffold where the reverse function is already created. This is the reverse function, but nothing inside it yet. So this will pass, but this second one will not pass. So take note of how this test is written. Test reverse int function exists. It has a callback function that has expect reversing dot to be defined. You put it and this is already defined. Now the second one says reverse int handles 0 as an input. How it handles 0 with this same callback function that has this expect reverse int, just like we had here, but now if you have 0 to be equal to 0, so this should take care of the 0 coming in before the actual numbers. Now we have test reverse flips a positive number. This is for positive number. If you have 5, it should give you 5. If you have 15, it should give you 51. If you have 90, it should give you 9. You see, expect this to equal this. That's the normal way of writing test and jest. So, and those are the text cases. Now you also have reverse int flips a negative number. So if it's a negative number, it also does the flipping just the same way. So all these text has to be passed. All of them have to be passed before we can get what we want. So let's write a function that will do this. So we just enter. Now to write this function, let's create an integer known as reversed, which is what we are looking for. So we have const reversed, so this is the integer we are looking for, and this integer, for us to get it, like I said, we need to convert what was given. This is what was given, n. Anything that you have here, the parameter you have here is the argument, so you just simply say n. Now to convert a string, an integer to a string, you simply use the function toString. So with this, you've converted it to string, and now that you've converted it to string, you can now do the reversal just the same way we did in the previous class for strings. And to do that, you simply say dot split, which will convert it to an array. So I say dot split, and you know that whenever you say dot split, you must put what you want to split it with, that is empty spaces. So with this, you've converted it to an array. So having converted it to an array, the next thing will be to reverse, because it is array that has the reverse function. So I'm going to say dot reverse. So with this now, it has been reversed. Now having reversed, it is still an array. So you have to now convert back to string, and to convert back to an array to string, you just simply need to use the join. So dot join, that's the function, dot join. So you also take note of what you're joining with, which is empty space. So once you've done this, you've done the whole work of converting back to string. So this is back to string now. So you are having a string reversed, but now you want it to be an integer. We don't just want a string, we want an integer. So to return an integer, we're going to say now we're going to return, because we want to return reversed. So we're going to say return, oh, why do I keep making mistake, return reversed. So this is what we are returning, reversed. But then we have to now convert it to an integer if we want it to actually be an integer. So I'm going to go and say pass int. That is the function, pass int. So once you run pass int on it, it's going to convert it back to an integer. Yes. So once you return this now, it's going to be an integer. So I'm going to Control S to save. So once you do Control S, because I have printer will arrange it very well for me. So I have n, I convert it first to string, I split it so that it becomes an array, I reverse the array, and I convert the array back to string. Then in this second statement, I use pass in to convert the string into an integer, which is actually what is needed. But then this will not pass this negative sign test, and to make it to pass this negative sign first, I have to state here that using the if statement, I have to categorically state, using the if statement, that if n is greater than 0, very very important, if you run this, it will not pass one of the tests if you don't put this last statement that I'm putting. So if it is greater than 0, what will happen? If it is less than 0 actually, what will happen? We will simply return the normal pass int of reversed, but this time you have to multiply this % by reversed by -1. So once you do this, it will work perfectly. So what is it trying to say is that if you have a negative number like this, that after doing the normal reversal, that you should multiply it by -1. But if you don't have any negative number, if n is just normal, that you should do the normal return that we did before. So that's what it's trying to take. So it's trying to make sure that once there is a negative sign in front of the number, that it is also returned here, and it should be in front of this place. So if you run this code now, it's going to give us what we want, and it's going to be perfect. So please hit the subscribe button. In subsequent classes, we're going to be continuing. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video enough. Thank you, and God bless you.